This is Bethany Suarez with Captured Moments, the podcast for Moment Magazine, and I'm here with artist Drew Kibler. Say hi, Drew.
Hi.
And today we're just going to walk through Drew's creative process with his fibers and all of the art that he creates. So can you tell me a little bit about what your creative process entails, where it starts?
So whenever I get some sort of brief for a project, I always think about how I can take it further. And whether that's, looking through research and ideation for new processes, I always take a base idea and just try to build off of it.
Right, and today we're in the Pepe Courtyard, which is the building that you are often at. What's your favorite part about Pepe?
I definitely think the weaving labs are where I spend most of my time. I think Pepe is really like a home away from home. I spend a lot of time here. But the weaving labs get a lot of use from me for sure.
And where do you source your inspiration for your projects? Does it depend on the brief? Does it always come strictly from other fibers, artists, or do you source it from other genres or mediums of art?
Yeah, I'm always looking at books. I think books are a huge inspiration for me, whether that's from the library or separate resource rooms at Pepe. But I'm always looking through books and looking at artists that came before me, and seeing how they would twist a brief per se. I'm always looking at other people around me and what they're doing and how I can build upon that.
How do you think that fashion or your style or your wardrobe plays into your art? Do you think that that your preferred color palettes overlap? Are you making things that you would deem as wearable for yourself? Where does fashion come into play?
I think fashion and style specifically play into my art differently. I think with fashion, it's something I'm making for, and I think style is what allows me to make. I think I look at my own personal style as functional. I'm sitting at a loom for hours on end. I want to feel comfortable making things, and then designing for fashion or experimental fashion. I'm totally thinking about silhouette and 3D elements with weaving, with whether that's pleats or burning out fabric or just experimental processes.
Do you have any fashion icons or influencers that come to mind or influence any of your art?
I wouldn't say totally influence the scope of my art, but I do love to pay attention to influencers, and especially young influencers, because I think those are the people that I share the same minds with. Influencer shout out would be probably Jake Fleming. I love his style, and I think he really takes function over form to a next level where it turns into form. It kind of checks both of those boxes.
And then do you have any favorite moments from working on Pepe, or any favorite moments working on your most recent project?
I think some of my favorite experiences with Pepe is just kind of building artistic relationships with my professors. I think they're just so knowledgeable, and they're kind of like a library to me. I feel like I just gained so much knowledge even having small conversations with them. I really see them kind of not as just teachers but mentors. And recent projects, it was just so cool taking something from concept into reality and looking at old portraits and old pictures of myself and trying to bring that past idea of adolescence and growing older into what I'm working with now.
And then going a little bit more into your daily routine, your interior is so put together and everything like that. How does that impact your daily routine? Do you think that you need to have a very polished apartment to function?
I don't think polish is a necessity, but I do think that the objects that you surround yourself with need to have a relationship with you. I like to treat the objects in my apartment as things that affect my daily routine and things that I build relationships with. So they aren't things that just, support my daily life, but they're things that kind of embellish them and make them prettier. So I think all the pieces that enter my home are things that I can see myself building a everyday relationship with.
That's cute. Okay, now we're gonna get into some controversial takes.
Okay.
What is a controversial take you have on a fashion trend or just any micro trend or anything that's going on that you're seeing fashion-wise?
Oh my gosh, there's so many.
Yeah.
I think consumption.
Yeah.
I think everyone is kind of holding on to things too much. And I think sizing down is always a good idea. And of course people think differently than I do, but I think I would survive totally fine with 5 t-shirts and 5 pants. And I think this idea of wearing something different every day or buying something new every week is not something that serves my lifestyle.
Yeah. Smart. And what is your personal biggest fashion fail?
Ooh. I would like to say at the bottom of my heart that a fashion fail is just catered to the wrong audience.
Okay.
But I mean, it's subjective, but a biggest fashion fail for me.
Like something that you look back on and you're like, oh my god, why did I wear that? Or like,
Oh, why did I wear that?
yeah, like
Oh my
something that
gosh.
you wore, like something that this is like your personal like.
South Florida, big culture with Zoomies.
Oh,
And I was absolutely a Zoomies kid.
nice.
Black t-shirt with like a neon print on it.
Right.
Not something I would wear now, but I totally kind of see it echoed. I see remnants of it
Yeah.
in myself.
Wow, are you gonna let her free?
I'm gonna let her free. Like I have Van socks.
It's true. They're
Parts
there.
of I kind of pay homage to it.
When did you like develop your style, do you think? And did you always know that you wanted to do fibers and create? Where did you find your style, and then where did you find your medium?
I think that there was always a want for me to wear extravagant clothes and like fully show my style and like what I would want to be. But I do think that you kind of have to fit in with your environment and camouflage, and I feel like I never got a chance to fully express that. So I think I'm still on that journey. I think once I get to a point where I can have a balance between like my work drive and like an outward appearance, because like I said, form and function is part of what I do.
Yeah.
But
what did you discover? Like, what did you form and function? I love that. No, when did you like kind of lock into fibers?
okay, I would say maybe like 3 years ago I found fibers as an option, and that was immediately what drew me to it was textile manipulation and the way that that's applied to fashion, and that really piqued my interest. So I think as soon as I picked up a book about like what's that book? It's like Pleats Oh My or something.
Oh yes,
Yeah. Like I just think like looking through books like 3 years ago in like Gen Library looking at fashion books was just like clicked in my brain, and fibers appealed to that as the major.
And What media have you been consuming as of late?
So
Any
much
kind of
Drag
media?
Race.
A lot of Drag Race.
Always Drag Race.
Does that go into how you create as well?
I mean, I think with Drag Race, there's obviously so much fashion that goes into it, but I also love the idea of Drag Race footage and everything that goes into a season being made in a vacuum. You know, you're enclosed in hotel rooms after filming, and it's a set, and it just, you have like 12 artists in a room just making content that is solely based on those 12 artists.
Creative, yeah.
I think that's just so cool to see, and it's also a queer space,
Yeah.
which we don't really see much anymore. I also just love Drag Race because it helps me like figure out time. Like, I watch it when I work, and since it's the same structure every episode, I can tell how much time has gone by.
Smart.
But yeah, I've just been watching Drag Race for the past like 2 years, and I haven't stopped. That is absolutely,
Would you ever create for a drag queen?
absolutely.
If
I would
you could
love
create
that.
for like any drag queen in the world, like
Raja Gemini.
okay.
Raja. Love Raja Gemini.
What would you make for her?
She does these crazy looks with prints and like Renaissance tapestry, and is so knowledgeable with fabric and fashion and couture. I just think I could totally make a custom fabric for her or something.
Yeah.
And then she's like a very like old school, but keeps it very new school and is up to date with everything. And I respect that so much.
And then closing out, going back to your daily routine, how do you balance your artistic work and your social life?
Okay. I work to make gaps in time where I can see people.
Smart.
I think that those two things aren't completely balanced in my life, but it's a push and pull. I feel more compelled to my craft more than social contact every day. I could go days on end just working and working without seeing people. And that's okay with me.
Yeah.
But I do make sure it is like on my calendar to make sure I have a day of a week where I can see my friends that I love.
What's like your favorite part of your house to like work in?
My desk.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy to say that, but I think my desk and what I surround that area with just keep me pushing to work. It's also a place that is completely separate from the Fiverr studio. So it kind of feels like a fresh air when I finally get to work at my desk.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's good. Do you have were there any questions that you were hoping that I would ask you?
It's like mostly about the daily routine, right?
Yeah, so focusing on like daily routine, but also like fashion, because it's a fashion magazine. Capture your moment.
Share your moment.
You eat fabric in the morning for breakfast.
Fabric in the morning.
I eat spaghetti yarn.
I was gonna
for
say like
dinner.
documenting. I don't know.
Why do you create?
Why do I create? I think I create to like document what I do. I think it's so satisfying to have a finished product and take a picture of it or something.
So rewarding.
And like put it out there.
Put it out there. Hashtag put
there.
it out.
I don't know.
No, there's no right or wrong answer.
And I do think that kind of matches up with
Yeah.
everybody documenting their daily life.
Yeah.
Because I think my work life is my daily life.
Right. What's your favorite piece that you own? We're doing rapid fire.
Oh my gosh. I think recently, the portrait. Weaving a childhood photo of myself. And working with my ongoing studies of the HIV virus. That was something that kind of was the first piece where I really felt like, oh, I think I know what I'm doing.
I did it. We did it, Joe.
We did it, Joe.
And what's your favorite clothing item that you own right now? Or accessory?
Ooh.
Like prized possession.
Yeah. I feel like I just got one recently. Prized possession. I think my dingo boots, my black boots, silver hardware. I think those are like
trusty.
My everyday shoe. I actually need to get them repaired because I wear them every day.
That's the best. And what do you do to like combat overconsumption, as you were talking about?
Yeah. Just like stopping it from the source.
Yeah.
I think if you don't pick up something that doesn't speak to you, like if you go to a thrift and you're just like, oh, that's cute, I want it, but it's not, you aren't automatically thinking about different ways that you could wear it or different times that you would wear it. Stopping that at the source and just not buying it, I think, is the easiest way to do it. But I also think there's...
How do you develop like your personal style? Because there's a lot of people that are influenced now by like microtrends and other influencers and stuff. So how do you find like that healthy balance of like being inspired by someone but having your own take or identity?
Well, I think the people that we tend to look up to have access to things we don't. So I think making it your own just kind of comes naturally because you don't have those sources. You kind of find what's similar but works for you. I think that's an easy way to do it. DIY. I mean, if you have access to all that, DIYing is probably more sustainable.
Yeah.
But, you know, finding elements of someone's style that you are drawn to, looking at what specifically you like about the style, and trying to find those things, whether that's in your own wardrobe, revisiting something that's in your wardrobe, or, you know, sourcing it online that you feel connected to. I think that's an easy way to find style, kind of with a reference of somebody else.
That was beautiful.
Thanks.
Do you have anything that you want to say? Do you want to plug any accounts? Would you like to shout anyone out?
My TV show on Netflix.
My upcoming Netflix show, original.
My website, I guess, Drew Kibler Design, and Instagram account under the same name. I think those are pretty much where I've been residing these days on the internet.
Beautiful. Thank you for your time. Always remember to capture your moment and stay tuned for our next podcast. Thanks, Drew.
Put it out.